Hi there, how are you? My name is John Lane. I'm the founder of Condo.Fund, and I really appreciate your time. I'm excited to share with you our collaboration between Reach and Condo.Fund and talk about our current project, Campus Condos. We're just about finished with that. We want to give that opportunity to you as potential buyers for new homes. Pretty excited by it. This is our agenda. We're going to talk about the collaboration. We're going to talk about affordable housing issues, our solution, how our solution has kind of transformed the affordable housing. We're going to talk about like solutions for you. Why should you pay attention to what we're doing? Ultimately, because we want to help you buy your first home. Yeah, that's really important to us. We want to help 10,000 families across the country buy their first home. And I think we have a really innovative solution to do that. Talk about rent versus mortgage parity. If your rent is X and your mortgage is Y, we think in most cases you should be able to afford a home. Down payment assistance, we're going to talk about like our program within Condo.Fund, but there's lots of other programs. We target our properties to be at 80% AMI, so I think that should be a really relatively easy number for most of y'all to hit. Campus condos, like our property is literally across the street from PCC. If you're going to PCC, it would be a pretty easy commute. How much are prices? And then obviously questions about mortgages and interest rate. Lots of questions. I hope you ask lots of questions. Okay, so we're going to get into the meat and potatoes really fast. I am a nerd. Let's be really clear. I'm a super wonky. I'd rather spend my time in front of a computer than just about anything in the world. I do a lot of research, and what the research says is this is why housing affordability is so difficult in the US. Back here in the heyday, 24 years ago, we had this really big spike in home building, right? The US builds about 1.4-ish homes a year, and that includes apartments, that includes single family res, that's everything. So this housing starts in 08, 09, everything crashed. No homes were being built, no homes were being delivered, no new apartments were being delivered. It was just this stagnant for many, many years, and we haven't gotten to the median line in almost 20 years, right? We had a little bit of success post-COVID, but even after that, the interest rates spiked up and new buildings stopped. So there have been some real issues going on. And so that's why housing is so expensive right now, because it's an undersupply and an over demand. So what are those? There's 5 core issues of what's going on in the market that makes it so. Skilled labor, right? My business partner, Dale, he's 58 years old. He's been an electrical contractor for 34, 35 years. He's a perfect example of what's quote unquote wrong in the market. Most people who are electrical or plumbers or sheetrockers or painters, any of these skilled labor people that you need essential for housing, those people are retiring. They're not in the market for new jobs. They're not in the market. So their prices have gone up. That's the other part. Costs of materials have literally gone up 2.5 times in the last 15 years. Then you've got land use problems, regulatory problems. Nobody wants to build, it's called NIMBY, not in my backyard. So you've got all of these issues. And then you've got political will, which is kind of brings all of those pieces into one snarled mess. In Portland, the average house, median price home is $524,000. Median down payment, $71,000. Like, these are just, when you mash all these problems together, you kind of get an understanding of why it's so difficult to solve the affordable housing crisis. Okay, that all being said, I will tell you, this statement is our cornerstone. This is what we believe. Condo.Fund has developed a national blueprint that solves the housing affordability crisis and the down payment dilemma. Like, that is something that us, the team on Condo.Fund, we're super proud of. Like, we have created this blueprint and now we're bringing it out to the masses. We're bringing it out to you and hopefully everybody else around. So affordability, about the same amount of money as you're going to pay for rent. We think you should be able to own a home. That's the core premise of what we're trying to do, right? We're talking about mortgage versus rent parity, right? The average rent in Portland is $1,764. Our mortgages, right? And this assumes a $225,000 starter home condo, right? PITI, principal, interest, taxes, insurance, mortgage insurance, and HOA, everything, 1866, right? I think that is a reasonable expectation for homeowners. I'm pretty excited by what can happen. I want to call out that property taxes are one of the biggest pieces of this puzzle that we cannot fix, but your mortgage compared to your rent is pretty darn close. Okay, so rent versus mortgage parity. And then the other part is the down payment dilemma. So we've got rent versus mortgage parity solves the affordability problem, and then solving the down payment dilemma. If you're in Laurelhurst, for example, the Laurelhurst property, we will actually make your rent payment 3 months in a row on time as agreed. And then the relocation fee, we're going to basically just add all that up together and give that to you as a down payment. So the residents who live in Laurelhurst will not actually have to come out of pocket with a down payment. We've got that problem solved. On the other side, if you don't live in Laurelhurst, if you wanted to buy campus, there are down payment assistance programs available, and we're going to happily help you walk through that path to get you the down payment that you deserve, and still be able to afford the home. If you can make that monthly payment, then I think you're going to be able to get a home. Like that's where we are. Okay, so those are the two problems that we've solved. This is a 80% AMI building, right? We're making sure that there are some that are not 80%, but the majority of the units in this building are 80% AMI. So what does that mean? If you're in these income brackets, or 2 people or 3 people in a household, if you're in these income brackets, you should be able to afford a new home, and we're going to help you try to do that. This is just the layout. It's actually a 3-story building. If you have mobility problems, this building is not for you. Campus is not for you, because you will be required to climb 2 sets of stairs. So it's a 3-story building. The units are on the top 2 and 3 floors. So there it is. Location, this is amazing. Excuse me. We are literally across the street from the campus. Like, I can't imagine a better location to live if I were going to school, if I wanted to live in an urban environment where, there's so much to do in a 2 or 3 block radius. Polaris Hall is right here. Like, there's just a lot to do. You don't necessarily need a car. It's very convenient to everything. It's a 10-minute walk to the max. Like, here's kind of where we are. This is all PCC. That's Jefferson High School. 10-minute walk to the max station. Like, it's just a pristine neighborhood. I love this neighborhood. So that's it. It's got brand new paint. It's an old photo. We got new paint on it already. Don't happen to own a drone, so I can't get another photo. Okay, this is just another photo of the building from the corner, Borthwick and North Killingsworth. There's a really big, cool bike shop in there. The units, right? They're relatively small. I want to be really clear on that. This is geared for 1, 2, or 3 people. Really, that's probably the extent that I would expect. I think this is what compassionate capitalism looks like. We want everybody in this community to win. We want to help people get new homes. We want to help reach with their mission. This is super important to us. We want to share with you what we're doing and our success. So that's it. I'm going to open it up for questions. I'm sure that we're going to have lots of questions. I'd love to have a tour. I'd love to have you guys schedule a tour with us. I think that's going to be huge, just to walk the property and get an idea of where your new home could be. All right, talk soon. Thank you very much.